Okay. All right. So hopefully I should, like, I played around with the settings in OBS, and I have the chat box appearing on the stream. So hopefully I can record this for YouTube. Um, yeah, you got to turn your music down, Purple. Otherwise, you know, you can't hear my lovely voice. Okay, so yeah, I thought we would do some live streaming of TryHackMe, which is, do I want to show my face? No, I don't think so. Not yet. Give me a few years. Yeah, so I wonder why, like, the chat box. I want to see if I can change the settings so it keeps more of the chat. I don't know, it's weird. Always show messages. Maybe that does it. Let's see if that works. So yeah, just start typing in chat, people. Let's see if, because on my stream it seems that it, like, I have the chat box going up the entire right side of the screen. But it seems that, like, messages disappear, but I don't know. Like I said, I've, like, not really played around with the chat box setting. I think I just configured it to always show messages. But we'll see. So I thought I'd do some web app boxes just because, you know, it's my thing. A few of these I've done before. In fact, maybe but, like, some of them are just really fun, so we're good. I have friends who try to tag you on LinkedIn and they don't find you. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever revealed my name to, like, anyone who's done my courses, so I think there's, like, 2 people on the InfoSec Prep group who know who I am, so alright, so I guess we'll start off. So this is a box called Inclusion. It's a beginner level local file inclusion challenge. So I'll deploy the box. And we will add it. So I'm going to add the IP to burp. So I wonder if I can, yeah, I'll just add the IPs as I go along. I'm just going to configure burp here. Come on. Because I only care about in-scope items. Okay. So we have a blog. Let's see what we can do with this. I'm going to view the page source because I figure there's probably something in here. Okay, so the article name equals hacking. That's interesting. That's probably loading something. I should probably actually check what the I'm just going to scroll down. Root it. If you've deployed the VM, try to find the LFI parameters and get the user and root flag. Okay. so I guess I can just try that. Internal server error. Alright. Just trying to try a few things, see if I can get anything here. So that gives that. So it's, it's probably appending a file extension, I would guess. Oops. It's giving me some weird errors. So what we could do is just try a bit of that. I can try and put null bytes on it. No. Oh, I had too many there. Maybe. So what I could do is try and load the article, maybe article.index. There's nothing there. There we go. Okay. So that's good. Alright, so that was just, maybe I didn't. Alright, so it seems that it took like, it didn't like when I actually had input at the start, even when it was valid. So that's probably because this was like an article. It's wasn't part of the file structure. So I just put in a few dot slashes with etc password, and I get the password file. If I view this as source, it's going to look way better. There we go. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is figure out which user. So there's two flags. One's a user and one is root. So reading down, obviously we're probably not going to get the root immediately. There's a Falcon Feast user. So we can try and just grab, I'm going to guess it's user.txt. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we got that. And I think I already got that, but I did this box a few days ago. Yeah, I know, it's Falcon. This is not his box as far as I'm aware. Alright, so we got the user flag via the LFI, so the root flag is not going to be as easy, so like we could try root. Okay, I guess it was. I don't think that's intentional, because I'm pretty sure what you're supposed to do is notice that for some bizarre reason there's the password in here. Falcon Feast root password, so I think you can SSH onto this box. So I'm going to copy Falcon Feast. Actually, I'm not going to copy the IP address because SSH Falcon Feast at, and then let's say yes, and then it was root password. Alright, so we're in. I'm guessing I can't just. Yeah, so you can get this via the web server, because I guess the web server is running with admin permissions. But if you do it the correct way, there's a little bit of priv-esque, which involves socat. So we can try that. That was funny though. Because the way I did this box before, like a few days ago, I did it the intended route. I didn't even try and get the root flag via the web app, but I guess it works. So I'm gonna go GTFO bins. and it was socat. Alright, so we can run socat with sudo. Is it socat or socat? I don't know. Alright. So I guess we can just do this. Alright, now we're root. Okay, that was easy. Yeah, so it definitely was the same flag, right, that we saw before. I just want to double check. 429, 429. Yeah, so all right, that's one box down. And yeah, like Purple said in the chat, you can't just do that in the OCP. You have to get an actual full shell. Okay, that was like a beginner level, right? So that was kind of expected. So I have a list on my phone of boxes that I was gonna demo. Let's try a more challenging one. Okay. There was dogcat, which is another. And this one had. This one had a few flags. This was an interesting one actually. So this is the same kind of thing. I think this was more. This is LFI as well, but it's a little different. So where am I going? Scope. I'm going to add the IP address to scope again. Some of these boxes take a while to load, but we'll see. And it's going to time out. There we go. Alright, so I loaded the page. I'm going to check, because apparently it didn't. Did I load it in the wrong browser? No. Why did I add the right IP address? Let me reload. That is weird. Failed to connect to 97, even though it's there. Okay. Let's go directly. Let's okay, I'm just gonna see if it's getting it, so apparently it didn't like the IP address. Oh, I put a space at the end of the IP. There we go. That explains a lot. So that one is the one with the space, right? So I'll just delete that. I thought my burp was acting up really weirdly, but it was just, it didn't have a space. Okay, let's show all those. Okay, so we had a few gets that failed, and then this one, it shows us a gallery of various dogs or cats, and then we clicked dog and it showed us an image of a dog. I'm a cat guy, so I'm actually going to switch to this. So view cat, and it shows us this image from cat/6.jpg. So I guess what we can try and do is just put a random word there, see what it's gonna do. So I'll just, sorry, only dogs or cats are allowed. Okay, so we have to have cat, dog. Can I type cat? Okay, here we go. So they're doing a string check, right? So if I just put if I just put A or like Tiberius there, it's gonna say sorry, only dogs or cats. So it's checking for the string cat, I think, or dog. So if I put like cat in the middle of my name, yeah. Okay, so tibcat. So that's interesting. It's failed to open file directory. Purple says, so I just noticed you're hacking from Mac and not Kali. Is that what you usually do at work? Yeah. Kali's fine, but I much prefer like native stuff. So I have as much as I can configured natively on my Mac. So I run burp, I run SQL map. I have like all my like Python environments and Python tools set up. I do, however, have a copy of Kali just in case, loaded on a VM. So I don't know. I just prefer working on a Mac. So let's see. So it's for some reason it's taking the value here and trying to load PHP. Okay, so it's trying to load the PHP file. So I guess what we can try and do is load the index, because this is probably called index.php because there's nothing here. Alright, and so of course we've got to technically put the word cat in there. So I wonder, can we do that? No. What we could do is, because there's a PHP file called cat, we could try and do // index.php. That work? Cats? No. So that's interesting. So we view the page source again. There is a directory cats, so we can probably do cats. Is there an index.php in there? Cats index.php? No, there's not. But if we do cats, okay, right, so that's how we do it. So because it's appending the .php, we could do directory traversal, and I don't think adding a null byte, adding a null byte's not going to do anything. But in this case, cannot redeclare contain string previously declared in index.html. Sorry, index.php. Okay. So it's trying to load that. I wonder if we can do any RFI on this. So if I just clear and get my IP address, and then I'm going to do Python. Should be Python 3, yeah. 4444. So if I try 4444/cat, we didn't get a hit. Hey Blizzy. Okay, so failed to open stream. No suitable wrapper. Alright, the HTTP wrapper is disabled. Okay, so that's good information there is. So you can't do HTTP, however, this is just passing this content directly to an include statement. So we can use other PHP wrappers, right? Okay. This is where Google will come in handy. PHP wrappers. Let's use a filter. In fact, I'm just going to Google. Yeah, it's going to be recorded on YouTube. PHP filter LFI. I know there's a great blog. This one probably. Ion Coffee usually has good stuff. I mean, we could try this, right? We could try using expect, but I doubt it's going to work. So we'll try and expect ls. Oh, of course. Cat. Just do cat. Unable to find wrapper expect. Yeah, okay, we didn't. That was a long shot. There is a nice. Here we go. PHP filter. Convert base 64. Yeah, we'll do this one. Okay, so this is a filter that basically you can pass it a file name, or a file path in this case, and it'll convert it to base 64 and then output it, because why not? So we'll do the same thing that we did before. We had cats ... index. Okay, there we go. Nice. Alright. So we can copy this, and then I'm going to go to, I've lost it, Hackverter, there we go. Paste into Hackverter, well, it auto-pasted because it was in my buffer. And so we can see that instead of a picture of a cat, we have this code. So there's our function contains string, which just is looking for the position of a string in the substring. And so what they do, if the view is set, it says if it contains string view dog or contains string cat, then echo here you go and include. Otherwise, we echo that, sorry, only dogs or cats are allowed. Okay. And it also has this line, which is interesting. So the extension, it defaults to .php unless the extension, unless the get parameter ext is set. So that's useful now, because that means we could technically set ext equals I don't know, anything really. ext equals at nothing, I guess, and then I could do ... Actually, let's just check that I can, if the index so I've set ext to nothing, so there's a blank extension, and then if I do index.php, it works. Okay, so now I should be able to get files off. Yeah, so that, I believe, should be the contents of the, yeah. Okay, so that's the /etc/password file. Okay, but we're looking for a flag. So I wonder, what happens, was there anything else in this? Didn't look like it. So I guess we can try and look for index.php in there. No. I wonder if there's a, oh, okay. So there's a cat.php file, which, so that's what's including, right? Because actually that made sense. So when you passed it a cat, it would include the file cat.php, which just prints this. Okay. So then dog.php should also be there, and I'm guessing that does exactly the same thing. Just open a new tab. Yeah, the same thing. I like both TryHackMe and Hackbox, to be honest. I think Hackbox obviously has a lot more moderation of its content, which can be a good thing in some ways, but I like that, especially since I'm building a Linux Privesk like room for TryHackMe. There's a lot less pressure on getting everything absolutely perfect and hoping that they don't reject you. I like some of the rooms as well. They're not all just like random boxes, and they don't release like one a week. So that's kind of nice. This should be. I'm gonna go to my favorite resource now. Hang on. Uploads all things. LFI. Oh, okay. Actually, have to spell it out. Local file. Nope. File inclusion. Yep. All right. Da, da, da. So we might be able to pass data. So let's try passing some data in here. So what I'll do is I will create a small echo shell exec get command, and we'll base64 encode that. And now I'm just going to duplicate this tab so I don't forget this. And then paste this in. Actually, I need to URL encode this because that plus is not going to work. There we go. Oh, and of course it has to have a cat in it. So that's not going to work, is it? I wasn't thinking. Just wondering what we can do here. If I just take that off, what do I get? Failed to open stream. We didn't miss anything at the start, did we? I'll answer some questions. How do I start InfoSec? I started like almost straight out of college, so what made me start is I took a few courses in college at like first year that were really interesting, InfoSec related, and so that kind of got me into it. And then pretty much straight out of college I went and did security auditing for a company, and then I sort of moved into pen testing that way. Bug bounty experience, it probably does give you an edge when applying for pen testing these days. I don't really have much bug bounty experience, to be honest. But if I get a CV from someone and it shows that they have some bug bounties, then sure, yeah, that's probably a bonus anyway. Let's see. I'm going to go back to payloads old things and see if we can do anything. So this might work actually. Let's see. So we need to get a way to see the actual contents of the file itself, so we should be able to use the fact that now we can control the extension, and we could do our initial, so cats ./index.php. We might be able to do, so if we view some logs, oh, I've got a double there. Should really check what server it's running actually, because this might not be Apache. It is Apache, okay. So let's try a few log files. Where'd the list go? Oh, it might be Apache 2. Yep, alright. How much programming would you recommend one needs to know for pen testing roles? Honestly, depends on what you're pen testing. Like, if you're just doing network pen testing, then I would say programming experience maybe a little less. I mean, it would be nice to know Python at least, because a lot of exploits these days are written in it. At least the ones on ExploitDB. And Python just generally is a nice language to know. If you're doing web app pen testing, I wouldn't say it's absolutely necessary, but it definitely helps if you know some JavaScript, probably PHP, and you can at least know how to read ASP and JSP, to be honest with you. Just so that you're not caught out. It just helps because you can understand from a programming perspective what's happening, especially if you're going in blind. So for instance, like this relied on using include. So I knew that include supports these PHP filter tags, right? And PHP itself has PHP filters. So that's, just from knowledge of programming PHP when I was like 13. So, you know all that stuff. So it's definitely more useful to know the web app languages, and especially if you have JavaScript. You should definitely probably be. You don't have to be like amazing at JavaScript, but at least be proficient in knowing exactly what it's something it's doing. So what we've got here is, so I didn't need to use the PHP filter convert base64 because that was just to view the source code, right? Because if we included the index.php page, which we did before, it just renders the PHP. So this got us the source code, which showed us that we could set the ext parameter, and now we can just get any file we want. So we've got the access log file, and so what we really want to do here is embed some PHP code into the access log. And so you can do that in a number of ways, but the easiest one is probably just to make a request. All right, because you can see the get requests here are going through. So what I can probably just do is start typing and we'll do shell exec and cmd. And I just want to double check I haven't put anything stupid in there like an ampersand. Okay, so what that's going to do is that's just a simple PHP script which is going to execute on the shell whatever I set as a get parameter cmd, and it's going to echo out the output. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll enter there and it should say fail, but hopefully if I just take that again and scroll down, didn't get anything, maybe, hopefully it worked. So I'll just say and cmd equals id, and it didn't because it has, or did it actually? I guess I could do an ls. No, okay. I think that's because, yeah, it's encoding some values here as part of the URL. So maybe we should send it as part of the user agent. So, you know what I'll do? I'll just make another GET request to this, and we'll replace the user agent with the string. So echo shell exec get cmd, and that's it. Just making sure I've matched everything. Alright, we'll try that. Okay, that worked. So it was encoding all the stuff in the parameter. So now we have we've got run ls, and we get there's cat.php, which we knew about. There's a cats directory, which we knew about. Dog.php, dogs, flag.php. All right. So now we can just cat. Although catting flag.php is probably actually gonna embed it. Well, not really. Okay. So there's the first flag. And so we could just basically execute commands out through here. So we could, for instance, start doing directory traversal. There's another flag there, flag 2. So I think there's 4 flags in this system. Let's see which user we are actually. I'm going to run ID again. And we're dub data. Let's see if there's a home directory. I need to do ls-l just to make it a bit easier to see, and that wasn't total 0. That's interesting. What does the... There is a home directory, but apparently there's no users. That's weird. I wonder if we can actually access the root directory. Doesn't look like it. What I could do is, get a full shell now. So we can do that. I'm just going to go to my GitHub, where I have some cheat sheets and reverse shells. So we can try this one. This is usually a nice one. We'll obviously have to URL encode this because it has ampersands, and ampersands in a URL will just cause chaos. So I'm going to go to Hackverter again and open a new tab. I don't want to run it as SH, I'll just run it as bash. We will take my IP address again. stick it into there, and port 4444, and I need to URL encode this. And then I'm going to run netcat. So that should work. And yeah, it didn't. Did we even get a hit? I'll run my web server again and see if we even get a hit. No. Hang on. I wonder if we can even reach. So I'll run curl. Okay, so it did get it got a hit, but for whatever reason it didn't. Oops. Okay, so it's connecting, so it just didn't like the reverse shell, which is fine. Sometimes that one doesn't work. We can try this one. So I'm going to go to HackVerter again. Let's just copy the IP address. Bin bash. Okay, so get rid of that. Oh, apparently it doesn't like down. And encode, URL encode. Oh, did I? Yeah, I forgot to restart. There we go. It's definitely not liking my. Nope, didn't get anything. It is not liking my reverse shells today. I get everything right. 4444. Everything should be URL encoded as well. Oh, hang on, maybe the extra parameter I didn't like. No. Interesting. I guess, I mean, if this fails, since we already have command execution, what we could just do is generate an MSF Venom payload and download it to the box and then run it. But to be honest, I think that's most of the actual shells, flags. So we had, we got flag from flag.php, we got flag from this part. There's another one, there's a third flag, which I can't remember where it was. It's somewhere. You can definitely get it through doing this. So maybe it is in var. That's flag 2. Maybe it's in var backup. Problem is I have to scroll all the way down to see these because it's filling here. Oh, backups. That might be why. No, nothing in there. So So there's a third flag, which I can't for the life of me remember where it was. And I don't want to generate an MSF Venom payload. So the fourth flag is kind of weird, and I'll leave that up to you guys, I guess, if you want to do this box. Let me give you a hint though. There's something in this output that should give a clue. So it's tricky to get though. But that was dogcat, which was nice. Let's see what else. Other questions we had. If I was hiring for a junior pentest role and I have a bunch of CVs, how do you differentiate them? Does Hack the Box rank count? No, not in my opinion. Maybe for some others, but I don't care about your Hack the Box rank. Hack the Box is not realistic in terms of pen testing. I'm sure that some pen testers are great at Hack the Box and they will have the skills that they need to do Hack the Box, but from my experience, there is not much overlap in terms of pen testing skills and like Hack the Box skills. In Hack the Box, you always know that there's a way onto a box, and this is the problem with a lot of sort of CTF tournaments, is you know there's a way on, and so you just keep attacking the box and keep hunting until you find the way. And there's a plane outside if you can hear that, I'm sorry. The problem I find is in pen tests you don't know if a box is vulnerable or not, and that's kind of the point. So for a certain amount there is a bunch of hunting and trying to figure out if a box is vulnerable, but if you do an mmap scan or a Nessus scan or any kind of thing and you don't see anything that's immediately obvious and you have 10,000 other boxes to pen test, you're not going to throw absolutely everything at that one box, right? And the same applies for web apps. So when we do web app hacking, we always approach it as, okay, well, I'm going to try and see how I can get onto this box. But I don't ever approach a web app engagement thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to root this thing. It's definitely something I hunt for, but if you spend all your time trying to root a web app, you're going to end up with a report that misses out on a load of other vulnerabilities that the customer cares about, right? So I don't think Hack the Box rank counts for much. It looks good, sure. I mean, it shows that you at least do this thing passionately, and I think that's kind of the key. You need to hire people who are passionate about InfoSec and about hacking. So definitely having a Hack the Box rank shows you're passionate, but it doesn't necessarily show pen test skill. It shows CTF skill, which is similar but different in my opinion. So I think, hopefully that answered that question. I would definitely have them for an interview. Sure, because like I said, if the passion's there, then you can usually teach good pen testing to someone who's passionate about information security. So in that respect, it does count, but generally no. Okay, so let's do one I did. Oops, it was ConvertMyVideo, and this was a fun one. All right. How many people have we got on the stream, actually? I haven't checked. might check in my other monitor. Yeah, we got 3. That's good. Yeah, no problem. Alright, let's add this box. Okay, so this was a really interesting box I thought I would demo. And yeah, I'm doing like these boxes that I've done just because I don't want to waste people's time by like, you know, streaming an hour of me sitting there randomly trying stuff. But I'm approaching these boxes the same way I did previously, because I think it's interesting. I think it's informative to show, you know, okay, what steps do I take and how do I enumerate stuff. So obviously the first thing we're going to do is actually, you know, use the web app as we normally would. Let's see what it did. So I guess I'll look at the source code first, and the source code really doesn't show anything. It just has the form. If we do a post request, this is interesting. So post request, if I turn off pretty print, there we go. We seem to get an error message that seems to be a command. So I guess I didn't, I mean, it says video ID. So let's find a YouTube video. Sure. Let's find this one. Where's copy link? I'll just open the link. And I guess that's the ID. Close. I don't want to play that. Alright, so if I do this, is that what it wants? Okay, actually I should have noticed this before. I went straight to the response, but it looks like, so it's appending this to the value. So actually it's sending a URL. Okay, that makes more sense. So even though we put an ID in, it's technically sending a URL. And so that's probably why it didn't like the first one. I hope I haven't killed it by giving it an actual video. Okay, there we go. So this is a JSON, so let's run it through JSON Beautifier. URL was that. So, I mean, the first thing obviously you're going to try if you actually have a URL is you're actually going to try and get it to phone home. So let's start this Python web server again, and I'm going to use my IP address. So HTTP, and that's port 4444, and we'll see. Did we get anything? We did. Okay, so that's nice. So I guess the other thing, this is probably PHP. Yeah, it's PHP. Okay. So it's giving, so it's accessing a URL, but it's not like reflecting anything. It's not grabbing the content and reflecting it into the actual web page. So we can try a few other things. We could try grabbing, see if it works with this. Okay, it doesn't. This is nice though. We get some error messages. Unable to download web page. File scheme is explicitly disabled in YouTube DL for security reasons. Okay, so this is probably command injection. So it's taking our URL and it's giving it to YouTube DL. So let's Google that. I really want the help text though. Support? Nope. They have a GitHub though. Which I think didn't I click on the GitHub? Oh, Google trying to be overly helpful made me misclick. Alright, so here's the GitHub. And it probably, okay, here we go. So it has some help text. So I'm wondering whether we can, it's taking your URL that requires HTTP maybe. But we could just maybe escape out of it. So we could try just hitting, sending a semicolon and then running ID. And that didn't work. Assuming restrict file names. You must provide at least one URL. Okay, so we must provide something here. So let's just do test and see if that. Okay. I'm going to go to JSON beautifier and see if this did anything. So this is actually kind of interesting. So we sent http://test, a semicolon to end the command, and then ID. And we did get ID reflected back invalid option F. I wonder if they do ls. ls cannot access L8, no such file. Okay, so it's actually executing this, but what seems to be happening is you have this URL is being injected into the command somewhere, and then there's some text after it. So I wonder if we put another semicolon, do we get anything? Didn't look like it, did it? Let's try listing. Oh, and I might need to do a plus there. I could try. I guess we could try piping a. Actually, that won't work. And then putting an echo. Okay. Oh, that worked. There we go. So, if you weren't following along, let me open a text editor. So what we have is this command YouTube DL, which has some options, and then it takes a URL, which is obviously usually youtube.com/ and then whatever the watch value equals 1, right? Okay. And then it also has some other options. So it looked like we go back here to this when we just put a semicolon and then ls, or ls without the semicolon after it, or actually just id. It said invalid option F, or invalid option, yeah. So what was happening was we were doing a semicolon, so this was test semicolon id, and I think what was happening was, so it was running the YouTube DL with the test, and it was trying to run id with whatever these options are. And so to get around that, I just put an echo, which is obviously going to try and echo whatever follows it, or at least it should fail in such a way. It'll execute this command and fail on this. So that worked because we got this, and it does look like we actually echoed some stuff. So we echoed -f 18-0, and then, so yeah, all this. So that's good. So since this is index.php and we're posting to it, we should be able to cat the index.php and see the contents of it. Which didn't work. Cat invalid option -f. So that's odd. So that's weird. So even with the echo there, it's doing that. Hang on. Okay, so if you see down here, there's this parameter called URL_original, and it's just giving us back what we typed, right? And as soon as I went to this, it only gives us back http://test semicolon cat. So it doesn't like the space. So if I put that back in there, I think it's gonna fail, because obviously cat index.php isn't a command, but it's at least gonna put it back here. So that works. Okay. So let's go back to payloads, all the things, and we will do some command injection without spaces. Bypass without space. Works on Linux only, which this is more than likely Linux. So we can try just putting a less than symbol in place of the space, and that worked. Nice. Okay. So let's copy all this. I wonder if raw works better. No, it doesn't. So here's the PHP file, and it goes all the way to there, I think. And I'm gonna load it into here. Oh, no, that is good. Soft wrap. What we can do as well is convert all the actual /ns, so \n into new lines. And then we get the formatting back. So yeah, okay, here we go. So it's taking the URL that we gave it, and it's using explode, which basically splits on a character, and that character is the space, and it's taking the first thing. So we can execute commands, but we can't execute commands with spaces in them. And then it's doing a lot of junk. Okay. Yeah, so where's actually execute the command? String. Proc open. Alright, so it's passing the string to proc open. And that's how we get the command execution. So, can we get a shell? Or can we at least do an ls now? So we know how to do ls. So we do ls, and this, I'm not sure this will work with no, it didn't. Okay. So we can't use the less than symbol before an argument. We can try this though. So in this case, we can try separating it out. And that did not work. Okay, we can use IFS. So in Linux, this I believe, and I think it works here as well. If we echo IFS, I believe it's actually a new line. Sorry, a space. Should probably do. That didn't help. Let's echo IFS into ifs.txt and then vim it. Alright, well, that was less than helpful. That's a tab though, I think. So I'm pretty sure it's, yeah, it's white space at least. So we should be able to use commands as long as we can put IFS between them. And yeah, there we go. So let's, in fact, I'm just going to test something out. I'm going to change the request method, and that doesn't work. Alright. So that's fine. So we have let me see if I can view this a little better. I wonder if rendering it will do anything. Not really. So yeah, it's just easier to view it this way. So we have an admin directory, an images directory, and the index.php, a JS directory, style.css, and temp. I think that's it. Okay. So I think the first question that we had was what is the name of the secret folder, and it was admin, and so we just found that there. So this is the admin folder. So we can actually use IFS again and have a look in the admin folder. Okay, so in the admin folder there is a flag.txt and there is also index.php. So let's cat the flag, and I'm gonna send this to repeater, another repeater tab, and I'm gonna use this one for doing my actual commands and this one for just catting out stuff. So I want to cat admin / flag.txt. And okay, there's the flag. So we got the flag. What was Was the user to access the secret folder? Okay. The user to access the secret folder. Did I? Let me just resend this and look for all files, because it looked like it was www data, but there's, okay, right. Because if we try and load this, if we try and visit admin, it's giving us a prompt. That's so when you have a prompt like that, it's either defined at the web server config level or per directory in a .ht access.ht password file. So in this case, we have .ht access and .ht password. So what we can try and do is cat out the contents of the .ht access. And it says auth name admin area, auth user file, HT password, require valid user. Okay, so we need to look at the .ht password. And there it is. Okay, so the user is it's me. Oops. It's going all over the place. It's me admin is the user here. Okay. So that's our second flag, it's me admin. What is the user flag? We got that. What is the root flag? And so we need to, I'm assuming we need to gain access to this admin directory. So we need to crack this password. So that looks like a SHA. Hang on. Hash identifier. Sure. Did I copy it all? I did not. There's a /. Let me APR1 hash. Alright. So it's MD5, but specifically an HT password version. So I think Hashcat has this. Tools. Password cracking. Hashcat. Okay, cool. So let's trash.txt. Oh, I already had it in there. That's from the last one, I think. So I'll copy it again. Oops. And there was a / at the end. So we need to do hashcat. I'm going to go in the mode A. Sorry, mode 0. The hash is 1600. I need to optimize, and otherwise it's going to complain. And I think I need the hash, and then I think I downloaded RockU into downloads, or I didn't. Actually, what am I talking about? I have it in tools, sec list somewhere, word list, sec lists, passwords. Is RockU there? I can't see it. Maybe it's in leaked databases. RockU, there you go. But let's do the I guess I have to actually oops, tools, let's just unzip that, that'll be easy. It's already in pot file, so where's the pot file? Okay, so that should run and crack it. Yeah. Okay, so the password is Jesse. Alright. So the username is itsmeadmin. And the password is Jesse. Okay, so now we get this page. Alright, and it looks like if we click the button, it's going to send a command rm-rf, and it's going to remove the downloads directory, so we don't probably want to do that. It looks like it's just a GET request, so we should just be able to run c equals id. Okay, so now we actually can execute commands, probably with spaces as well. Yeah. So that's a much nicer output. We already got the flag, LS. Let's see what other users we have. There's a DMV user who has nothing, unless it's okay. So can we run sudo-l? No. So I guess what we can do this time though is try running our reverse shell again. Let's give this one a go. So I need to go to Hackverter. We already have it here. So let's run that. I just need to listen on netcat port 4444. Hey, okay, it's loading, which means we probably got a shell. Yep, nice. Okay, now can I run sudo? No TTY present. Okay, so we need to grab a TTY, which is no problem. We can do that easily. I'm just going to grab the nice Python code. So now we have a TTY and we can do sudo-l, and we haven't got the password. So that's interesting. But at least we have a shell. Just gonna cd up and see if we have anything. Is there anything in backups? No. cdmv. What was the task? What is the root flag? Oh, I don't think I got the root flag on this one. So that probably meant that I ran the script and couldn't see anything immediately obvious. So I may leave this box because I do not want to get into Privesc hell. So anyway, that's how you do that box. So we got into the admin area and we were able to execute commands, get a shell in the box. And like I said, when I did this the other day, I did run, I think I ran linpeas. I couldn't see anything immediately obvious, so I think it's kind of an obscure Privesc, unless I completely missed something, which is possible. But I do not want to waste time on the stream. So I think there was some other question. Where do you see the future for pen testing roles? Do you think they can be fully automated with AI and whatnot in the future? That's a good question. I think we're safe for now. I think, sure, AI can definitely advance to a level where it's probably capable of doing a lot of stuff that we do, but I think that's true, to be honest, of any sort of position, any job. The benefit of pen testing is there's still so much of the role that requires you to think logically and sort of, I don't even think logically, think outside of the box. So it's entirely possible that the AI won't, take our jobs that soon. So yeah, I think that's my position on it. I think we're good. I especially think that's true of web app stuff, just because web apps are getting extraordinarily complicated. And while you can always scan the code of a web app, there's so much that even the best scanners can't find. Okay. Let's do this one because this was kind of fun. This was less of like a challenge box. It has some challenging stuff, but it's all about cross-site scripting, which is fun. So we'll deploy this. So this box was kind of nice. It kind of had a lot of tutorials as well. So if you have TryHackMe and you have a subscription, this is a subscription only box. But it's nice. It has some tutorials about cross-site scripting. You can go through and do all these. So let's reload this. Oh, I should probably add the IP again. Scope. Alright, so we need to register, so I'm just going to use this. And we are logged in. So the first thing, add a comment and see if you can insert some of your own HTML. Doing so will reveal the answer to this question. So this is stored XSS, so easiest thing to enter is trying to do that. Right, and we get the answer. So all I did was enter the italic tags. And we got the first scoring thing. Alright, create an alert pop-up box that will appear on the page with your document cookies. So again, this is an easier one to do. You can just write alert document.cookie. That's not as obvious. It's not document.cookies, it's document.cookie. And then it should appear like that. And we get the well done level 2 flag. Okay, change XSS Playground to I am a hacker by adding comments and using JavaScript. Okay, so this thing, if we inspect this, it's a span tag. So this is just text in a span with the ID THM-title. And if we view the page source, I believe At some point this loads jQuery. Yep, jQuery is loaded. So we can use jQuery, which is epic, because in jQuery, if you want to select an object from the document object model that has an ID, you can just pass the ID using this. So the ID was THM-title, so I can just do that, and we have access to the object. So here's the span, and you can see as I hover over it, it's highlighting it. So otherwise you'd have to do document.getElementById, that, right? But it just gives us the element. With this, you get a bit more. So you can change the text, I think. Is it text? Let me just check. Yeah. So if you just call the .text function, you get the text. But if you give it a parameter, it changes it. So this is all the code you need. So we need to change it to I am a hacker. So we can do this easily by just typing I am a hacker there, entering the script. If we comment, then that's the first one, that's level 2, I am a hacker, and it gives us the other code. Okay. Stored XSS can be used to steal a victim's cookie data on a machine that authenticates a user to a web server. This can be done by having a victim's browser pass the following JavaScript code. The script navigates there. So this is just basically is going to redirect them. Window.location redirects a user to whatever this URL is. And in this case, it's going to append the user's cookies to the cookie parameter. This script navigates the user's browser to a different URL. Yeah. Okay. Take over Jack's account by stealing his cookie. What was his cookie value? Okay, so in this case, I think using this other part of the site, this is a keylogger. So you can go to the logs page, and it will log anything that makes a request to log/text. So if we try that, test, it gets there. So we can do this here. So we will use this script, but what I'm going to do is I don't want to get redirected myself, so I'm going to send it to repeater. I'm going to use hackverter, and we're going to copy it in. So in this case, I need to know this is the URL, so it's just /log. I imagine that should work. Actually, let me double check if I do a log, test equals test, cannot get log. Okay, and this might work then. So let's try it. So URL encode this, and we'll copy it and we'll put it into repeater, and send it as a comment. And then if we refresh our logs, let's actually see if it even does anything. Okay, I did. All right, so which is our cookie? So our cookie is this one here. So this is their cookie, and his cookie value. Oh no, hang on. No, sorry, that's our cookie. This is his cookie, right? So that's his cookie value. Take over jokes account. So if we take this cookie and just paste it in here and then refresh, it says hi Jack instead. So we've taken over Jack's account. Post a comment as Jack. So that basically just means we'll go here and, oh, well, it's now done that. So if I might need to refresh the box, to be honest. So we'll terminate and deploy, because it's redirecting me on that page now. But we still have his cookie, which was what, this one. So that's fine. We can basically just use that value. So we got given a new IP address. So we'll wait for it to load. And now we can just add a cookie. Application. So we're going to copy this one. And I think if I refresh, it should, yeah, log me in as Jack. So now we can just post a comment as Jack, just test. And yeah, cookie stealing. So that completes the stored XSS part of the challenge. So now there's some reflected XSS. So we can go here, craft a reflected XSS payload that will cause a pop-up saying hello. I can close all these now. So if I just search for test, and we'll view the page source, test is reflected there. So we can check that script tags are reflected, so that's fine. So we need to cause a pop-up that'll say hello. So in this case, we can probably just type it in here, alert, hello. And it pops up saying hello, and then we get the payload. Craft a reflected XSS payload that will cause a pop-up with your machine's IP address. So in this case, I don't know this off by heart, but JavaScript get hostname, I guess. Window location. So extract the hostname portion of a URL in JavaScript. It is window.location.hostname, I think so. And again, we can just try this out before by going to the console and just typing that. And yep, that's correct. It's the IP address. So in this case, we just need to do script alert. Shove that in there, and we should get that address, and we get the second flag for this box, which I think is it for that. Okay, DOM XSS. Look at the deployed machine's DOM-based XSS page source code and figure out a way to try and exploit it by executing an alert with your cookies. So if we go to the DOM-based XSS, oh, sorry, there we go. Paste image URL here. So this is an image, I think. So copy the image address and paste that there. And it appears, and it appeared without reloading any of the page, so it's inserting it directly into the page. So we can have a look at the JavaScript that does this. It's probably, actually it's here, yeah. Look here. So it's getting the image URL value out of the page, creating a div element, and then it's just inserting the image URL, and so we can probably, so let me double check. If we do, what was the thing? Image URL. So if we do, if we add that, well, okay, no, so what happens if I just edit as HTML? Right, so it did, it put in an extra quote. So we can do on mouse over equals alert document.cookie, and we won't close it out because it should automatically close over, and then we get it, right? But doesn't seem to have done it, I think. I think what it wants us to do is use onError. So if I give it a URL that's invalid, then when it tries to load the URL as an image, it'll trigger an error, which on error it should alert that, which it doesn't. That's interesting. Oh, hang on. No. I mean, it's working. Did it happen without me even noticing? Let me just check. On mouse over. No. I'm not sure. Does onload work? It did, but for some reason there's something funky. Alright. We definitely got it to work. Create an on hover element with an image tag that changes the background color of the website to red. Okay, so again, we can just Google JavaScript change body CSS background color. Here we go. There we go. Document.body.style.background color. Doing that copied. Okay. So in this case, basically just change this to on hover, and I think we need to change those to single quotes. What's it doing? You just double check this actually works, because it was from W3 Schools, which is not the best source, but I mean that works. Okay. So Oops. I'm just going to paste that there for now. Grab this URL again. Copy image address. On hover equals. And then maybe if I just do nope. Maybe if I mean, this should work. The only thing I can think of is, I mean, okay, so it asks for an on hover, but on mouse over works. Okay, cool. We can close this. Okay, we got that. Using XSS for IP and port scanning. Yeah, so that's just a review task. You can do that. You can do that on your own. Keylogger, again, you can do that. The filter evasions, though, these are fun. So we'll go to the filter evasion. Are you able to bypass the filter that removes any script tags? So if we try and type a script alert 1, what do we get? So if we just inspect this again, it's completely removed the /script, and it just seems to deleted the word script. So I wonder if it just deletes the word script. Test. Okay, so it does. So I wonder if we write the word script within script. I should probably script and then ipt. So, okay. So it didn't like that. Oops. I think these are all DOM actually, so let me just double check. Yeah, okay. So that's not going to work, but you can do the same thing we were trying the other on the other page. We can just load this. We need to make an alert that says the word hello as well. So submit that. We get the word hello. So we got the answer. So again, that doesn't use script tags. It just uses an image, tries to load an invalid URL, invalid image, which triggers an error, and then you can just get the alert. Okay, the word alert is filtered. Okay, so we'll stick with this. So the word alert is filtered. So what we can do is we convert this to a string and run it via eval, and put the word alert as we can convert it to convert it to char codes. So what we'll do, we'll go here, and we'll do alert, and we want to convert this string to char codes. Okay, so we have that, so we need to run eval, and then it's going to run string dot from char codes plus, and then the rest of this string. So, okay, that didn't work. I wonder if script is filtered this time though. Let me copy that. Yeah, it is. I guess we could just use from char codes for the entire thing. So what we can do is just do alert, hello, convert all of those characters to char codes, and then I was probably asking to, oh actually no, I know what's wrong. I haven't ended the eval. Or not. Alright, we'll do, oh hang on, actually, because, yeah, no. Alright, so we'll do from string from char codes in the eval. That should have worked. Why did that not work? Maybe if I surround it by quotes it will. Unless I'm, is it char code? Am I? Yep. Okay, so it's from char code, not from char codes. So if we go back to the original one that I did this, and I need to add that. Did that work? Yep. Alright, so it was going to work. It just, I had an S for some reason. Okay, the word hello is filtered. Okay, so actually, ironically, this one can be used here. So image source equals A, on error equals eval string dot from char code. Paste that in the char code and the eval and submit. And something didn't work there. Was it the quote? There we go. For some reason this is broken. It doesn't give you the challenge for whatever this one was, so I'm not sure why. Okay, filtered is the following. The word hello, script, on error, so we can't use on error, on submit, on load, on mouse over, on focus, on mouse over, on key press, on change. So this sounds like a job for the Portswigger XSS cheat sheet. So we'll go here. And this cheat sheet basically shows you a bunch of ways of executing XSS. So we can try on animation start, because that looks okay. So again, we'll need to replace alert with whatever we actually need, but we can just use eval again. And there we go, we got hello. And again, this one doesn't work as well. So, but this is a really good resource. You can customize it, so you can say, okay, I'm only interested in the A tag, and it'll give you a load of ways of getting XSS with the A tag and different events. So you can even say, okay, I only want on blur, and it'll say, okay, there's that one there. and it'll also give you a bunch of restricted character stuff and some AngularJS, I believe, at the end. So that's all that. Cool. So I think that was the entire. Yep. And then there's a little bit on protection methods, which you guys should read as well. But I think I am going to end the stream there. So yeah, hopefully that was fun to watch. I had a great time interacting with you guys as well. Thanks for all the questions. This will hopefully be uploaded to my YouTube channel as well. The links are on the screen. If you could subscribe to my YouTube, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my Twitch, give this video a like if you could, that would be great, and leave a comment so I know you guys are enjoying the content, and hopefully we will do this again soon. So if you have any ideas for streams you want to see, I know some people have hit me up in the Discord and asked for a few things, so we will hopefully get on those. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, guys.